All right, first we're going to fill our pan with these beautiful bakery buns. Got these at the grocery store. Love them. Split them wide open. They've already been like pre-split. We're going to start with some string cheese. Now, you can use any kind that you like, but I love these because they're the exact right size to put right down inside the sandwich. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. Now, any recipe that starts with cheese is fine by me. The kids love these. I enjoy them. They're super easy. The only irritating thing is you got to unwrap every single one of these. But it is absolutely worth the effort. Now then, once you've got those down inside each one of them, what we're going to do is stuff them with a little fresh spinach. A little green makes everything better. Especially since we're doing a sandwich today, it's going to be great to have just a little bit of salad in there. Sometimes we can get a little meat and cheese heavy. So I love adding this. It adds a real nice pop of color to it. It also makes it feel just a little bit fresher. So make sure that you put plenty of that in there because whenever we bake them, it's going to sort of like wilt a little bit. So even though it feels as though it's kind of filling up the sandwich right now, when you apply heat to it, it's not going to be the same situation, okay? So there we go. We're going to add that. It's a great source of iron. And, you know, any kind of fresh vegetable is always great for us. Beautiful. Next up, we're going to add just a little bit of diced tomato in there, okay? So you're just going to pour just however much you like. I love a lot of tomato on my sandwiches. Not everybody does, so it's completely and totally up to you and whatever your family loves. You can also keep it on the side in case people want to add just a little bit more. Plus, these things are slippery. When you take a bite of one of these, usually half the tomato falls out on your plate anyway. So having a side dish of these is usually a good idea just to make sure people can have enough tomato on their sandwiches. So something I love about these is the fact that you can add so many fresh things to it. People have told me about maybe some fresh fruit, like maybe mango on it. But it's like, well, that sounds a little exotic for my taste. But okay, you know, maybe in future recipes, if this one turns out really well, we'll go a little crazy and add some of that there too. Beautiful. Look at that. Yep, just diced tomatoes. Hunts are great. Coming up next, we've got these beautiful boneless chicken bites. And now these are buffalo style, and I love them. And all we're going to do is literally just poke these right down on top of the tomato and spinach. Because this is the main event of the sandwich. This is why everybody's here, of course. You know, you put your chicken in there, and away we go. And I love these too. Now, the sauce is just a little bit on the salty side. Just a little bit. So we don't necessarily need to season it too much. You've got the spice, and you've got that beautiful meaty texture. So all you're going to do is literally just push these right down inside. I love these too because sometimes whenever you bite into a sandwich that's got meat in there, you'll bite into it, and the next thing you know, you've got a whole mouthful of meat, and all you got left is bread and all the condiments. Whenever you use these nice little bite-sized pieces, these nuggets, that's never a concern. You just put them right down inside, stuff them in there like it's their job, and away we go. Ooh, I love these. Also be kind of careful with your heat. You can get these in mild, medium, or spicy. Just be kind of careful with that. You know your tolerance. Just make sure that you watch the packaging so you don't get a surprise whenever you start to dig in. Now, the good thing about these two, you want to make sure that you adjust them so it goes directly up and down. That way it bakes all the way through really nice and evenly. There we go. We had a naked spot. Got to fill that in. Perfect. Now time for a little sauce. We're going to use this chunky blue cheese because, man, I love either ranch or blue cheese with any of my buffalo. So this is exactly what we're going to do with that. And you can be just as generous or as sparing with this stuff as you want to. You can put on as much or as little as you like. That's totally and completely up to you. But I love this. It kind of helps to balance out the spice of the buffalo. And it's so creamy and good. Gosh, I love this. Now then, up next, a little more buffalo sauce, just in case. Because sometimes whenever you add it to your sandwich with the chicken fingers, the chicken nuggets, it'll be just a little bit. It'll be more like a powder or a rub. And this is going to get you just a little bit more liquid in there. Nice. And then, of course, You know me. I love cheese. Any kind of dairy, butter or cheese is always welcome. So we're just going to go ahead and use these circles and put them right down on top of our sandwiches. There we go. Because this is going to melt and hold all that in. Sometimes whenever you bite into it, you lose all your goodie on the first bite. It just comes squishing out the end. This is going to help seal that sandwich and keep all that delicious just right there inside. Yes, please. Plus, I love this kind. Now I've already set our oven to 400 degrees. We're going to leave those in there for about 15 minutes. Look at that beautiful cheese, how it's browned around the sides. Just going to take them out, slice it in half. Eat up, y'all. Woo! God, I love these. Okay, y'all, we're going to start with a box of these powdered donuts. I absolutely love these. They're so good. You can get them anywhere, and they're usually pretty cheap, too, to make this beautiful dessert that everybody loves. You're going to line the bottom of your 9x13 pan with all of these, and you're going to be ready to go. Next up is going to be a can of Eagle brand sweetened condensed milk. You're literally just going to pour that all over the top. Now, it's a good idea to shake this can before you get started because the contents can be pretty thick if you're not careful. So sometimes you may want to use either a spoon or a spatula and get every little drop of that sweet, delicious goodness out of the bottom of this can, okay? So here I come in with my spoon to make sure that I get this coated all over everything, okay? Good. It is so delicious, but it is very thick. So make sure you get it all out on top of all your donuts here. Go. Good. Try to spread that around as evenly as you possibly can, okay? Because you want to make sure that you get all the ingredients in every bite. Next up, an entire can of cherry pie filling. Ooh, I love this stuff. I do. It is so colorful. It's also a little bit tart. Yeah, it's sweet, but it's also mostly tart, so it kind of helps to even out all that sweet and condensed milk. All right, now then we're going to mix together a beautiful cake mix to go on top of this. We're going to start with yellow cake. I love Pillsbury. This was on sale. It doesn't have to be a specific kind of brand unless you just love it. Just use whatever it is that you've got there on hand. But yellow is the one that I used for this one. And then to this, I added almost an entire bottle of Fanta soda pop. Just put that right in there. Knee-high works great too. Any kind of orange soda that you've got, that'll work out really, really well. Those bubbles provide just a little bit of like an effervescence in the cake that is so, so good. It'll help to make it rise. It'll also make it kind of spongy. And then you're going to add a whole banana. See, we do this instead of the egg and the oil with our cake mix to make sure that we get, just a little bit of a different texture on the top. Besides, eggs are so stinking expensive right now. This is a great option. Now you're going to mash that banana up into your batter, okay? Now, you can do this with a fork. You can do it with a spatula. Around here, we're a little more hands-on with it, so you can just mash it up in there because it's going to blend in really, really well with the cake mix and that soda. We're going to get our spinner in here. It's not exactly a whisk. It's not exactly a hand mixer. I found this little gem on Amazon for nothing. It's like $7, and it does the work of both of those. And that way you can see it's literally coming together so quickly. It amazes me how you can mix the soda, the powder, and the banana so well and so fast using this little tool. Oh, it's fantastic. I love it. Great. I also love the sound this makes. I don't know, there's just something therapeutic about being in the kitchen and listening to this kind of stuff. Also, make sure you continue to comb the walls of your bowls to make sure that any ingredients that are sort of clinging to the sides, that you get them into the middle, into the body of the rest of the batter, okay? Now, once we've got that all mixed up, we're going to make sure we knock off any excess from the stir. There we go. We're going to bring back our original dish, and then we're just going to very gently pour this over the entire top of that. So now you've got the fruit, you've got the soda pop, and you've got the cake mix in there. And we're going to scoop off as much of that as we can into there, and just make sure that we spread it evenly around the top. Make sure you go to each corner, make sure you go to every side. It seems like I say this in every video, but you want to make sure that you got really good coverage all across the top of your dessert, okay? So scrape that bowl until it's nice and clean, and And then you just use that spoon or spatula or whatever it is that you're using to spread it all across the top of your dessert. Beautiful. Ooh, I love that orange color. That's going to bake up so pretty. Now, I've already preset the oven to 350 degrees, and she's ready to go. We're going to slide her in for about maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, however long it takes to get that perfect cake top. Look at that, how beautiful. And so unbelievably soft and moist. Oh, it's so good. We're going to cut us a little chunk of this right now because it's out of the oven. And yeah, she's a little hot, but she's still going to be so good. All of that juice is soaked into the donuts, into the cake top, and it's going to be wonderful. Eat up, y'all. Woo!